Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome. It's so nice to have you here. Today I'm going to be showing you how I created this makeup look that I call a luxe makeup look. In a way, this video is to show you that you don't need to have expensive makeup to look expensive. It's not about looking expensive. I just have a certain picture in my mind when I think of luxury, when I think of luxe. I feel like it's most of the time, you know, looking very elegant, minimal, kind of sophisticated, and with that, without caking on the makeup, because more is not always more. I focused on very neutral, muted tones because I just feel like they are the most elegant and they really go with everything you wear and every kind of jewelry piece you own. I opted for minimal jewelry because, again, sometimes less is more. And for today's look, that was definitely my approach. I also think that with this twig blazer and with the hair like this, I feel like this could be perfect for any occasion, especially when you want to feel and look a bit more special. So if that sounds interesting to you and you like how this looks, because I surely am obsessed with this, then please keep on watching. So for the base makeup, there is one product that when I think of luxe looking skin or just very healthy and just perfected skin overall, my all-time favorite product, and I have mentioned it so many times, is the Missha BB Cream RX. This gives your skin the most beautiful, glowy, dewy, supple kind of veil. It has coverage. It's not like full-on coverage, but it's perfect to create an even base, and then you can just spot conceal. Literally the holy grail product for me of all time in terms of base makeup. I really like it, and whenever I use it, I just feel like my skin looks perfect. I don't even use that much, like it's that little amount there, and I have been really enjoying it. You know, with my fingers, apply with a finger, I think gives a very nice natural look. When you're going for a very elegant, effortless kind of makeup look, you don't want to cake your makeup on. So I think it's a good idea to really only apply foundation or BB cream, whatever you're using, only where you really need it. I like to start from the inside and then I just blend it outward. Since I don't have any, you know, imperfections on the outer part, it's just unnecessary for me to apply it there. This also prevents a very cakey base and keeps everything looking very fresh and natural. I feel like this BB cream also just works very well with your fingers because it just melts into your skin so easily and you don't lose any of the coverage since your fingers don't soak up that much product like a brush would do. I feel like generally speaking, a more hydrated, glowy base gives off a more like expensive kind of look because it just seems like you have skin that has been treated so well with treatments and what else. With the concealer, I want to mimic kind of the same thing, so I'm going for a hydrating formula. This one that I'm using is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. It has this big doe foot, and I'm going to be using this one under my eyes and also like on any little blemish that I might have. I find this a pretty wet concealer, so I like to actually apply it where I need it and kind of let it dry just a little bit, and I just feel like that works very well for me. To maintain the glow, we're only going to be setting really the areas we need. If you have very oily skin, feel free to powder as much as you want. You can definitely, you know, add a highlighter on top afterwards to give you back the glow, but if you want that more natural glow and you can avoid a lot of powder, I would recommend only setting like the center. For bronzer and blush, I'm going to be using two cream products because again, they just mesh with your skin and you're going to have just a very flawless looking base. I just feel like with creams, it's very easy to create that very soft kind of watercolor effect, like you don't know where it starts, you don't know where it ends. So I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Putty blush and bronzer. I also have the luminous putty blushes, but I don't know why for today I kind of wanted to go with the original matte formula, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to start with the bronzer, take a little bit on my brush, and I just start to blend this onto my forehead, a little bit on the temples and my cheeks. If you're looking for an affordable cream bronzer, I have raved about this bronzer before, but I'm gonna do it again. It is so good. It blends out so easily and seamlessly. You can really not mess it up, I feel. It's just so forgiving, and I was a total beginner to cream products, you know, cream bronzer and blush, and this formula is just so good, really, for beginners, but also like for if you have been using creams for so long, because the powder finish to it is just so phenomenal, really. It is so beautiful. It lasts even when it's warm, and I don't know, I just feel like it gives a healthy, natural kind of look to your skin. It's just so good. I highly recommend it, especially for the price tag. You cannot beat this. I have also used quite a bit of it. I don't know if you can see the dent that I've made, but it has been loved. Blush, I'm going to be using the shade Bora Bora, which is this bright bubblegum baby pink kind of shade. I'm taking the same brush. I just find that it looks very natural when I use the same brush. And it might look very crazy at first, but this color, I know cool tone pinks have been so popular, but I just don't hear anybody talking about Bora Bora, which I don't understand. It's literally what everyone is obsessing over in a cream formula. I really recommend this, especially if you have my skin tone, if you like cool toned pinks. This is just so beautiful. For any other everyday makeup look, I would have applied the blush also on my nose, but today I'm going to skip that because I feel like for this look, you want to look as clean and almost structured, but in a natural way structured. And I feel like if I apply blush here, it just creates that typical sunburned effect, and I don't find that to be the most like appropriate. Like, you can do whatever you want, but the picture I have in my mind just doesn't have blush on the nose. Now, we still have a very natural glow, although it is a matte product, but I'm still going to add a little bit of highlighter whenever I want a really intense but still kind of natural glow. I do like to go for Soft and Gentle from MAC because of the baked formula. It does have bigger shimmer in it. I always say that. I know some people don't like that, but it's just something about this product because it doesn't really have a base color to it. It looks just so candle lit in a way. I just really love how this highlighter looks. So if you can look past that little bit of shimmer, it is a very beautiful powder. I'm using a small brush instead of like a big blush brush, which lately I have been really loving a blush brush to give an all-over glow, but I want to pinpoint it so it doesn't look overly glowy, and I just do soft little tapping motions to create the glow really just where I want and not go like everywhere. I'm not applying too much on my nose because I have a little blemish there, and I don't want to emphasize that too much. Now, as I was thinking of a palette for this look, I just immediately knew I wanted to use this one, the ETUDE Autumn Closet Palette. I just feel like this color story is perfect for that because it is just nice and muted, has a low chroma to it. It's just a color story that is not going to look too much. I feel like for an elegant makeup look, you don't want too vibrant of a color. You want something maybe a little bit more soft, more muted, which is why I love this palette right here. It is so perfect for this look, and it's really what I was envisioning in my mind, so I'm going to be using this palette today. I'm going to be using a shadow from a different palette just to highlight the inner corner, but mainly it's going to be this palette here. I usually like to think of the outfit I'm going to be wearing, and I'm going to put on like a twig gray kind of blazer, so I want to keep my eye makeup in this more cool tone brown area. So I'm actually going to mix these two browns together and add that into my crease, and really just effortless, nothing too structured, but at the same time also not too like blown out runway style. So kind of like a healthy mixture of both. I feel like when I think of the look that I'm going for, it's also kind of like a just clean vibe that I almost get. It's kind of like makeup is there, but at the same time it's undetectable. It's just a mixture of all of those things for me. And this palette just kind of gives me that vibe. It reminds me of a clean kind of makeup look because I immediately kind of connected to more subtle shades, and this palette absolutely has that. So we have our smoky crease done. Not too much, not too little. I feel like this also depends on what you like. For Luxe makeup, a lot of people don't like glitter, but the glitters in this palette, and I feel like some of the softer glitters that you can find in K palettes, I'm not talking about those big chunky glitters that a lot of palettes have right now. These are very, very, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of sophisticated glitters. They don't look chunky and emphasize your eye in a weird way. These glitters look super sophisticated and they sparkle in such a beautiful way. So I'm going to be using this shade right here. It's the more beige color. This one is a pretty cool tone pink, so I'm using this one because it is a beige and it has light blue glitter in it, and I feel like the light blue just matches the gray blazer. So I'm going to be using this very lightly on my lid. What I like a lot about these glitters is that they are pretty transparent, so they don't have too much of a strong base color to them, which means you can apply them onto your eye without a shadow and it just gives a beautiful sparkle. Or you can put it on top of any other eyeshadow and it just kind of transforms your eyeshadow that way. It has just such a beautiful sparkle, I love it. I'm going to highlight my inner corner before I forget it. So I'm using from the BH Hawaii palette, I'm going to be using the shade Hana. It's a very light pale white gold, but it's so beautiful. It's very brightening and it just makes your eye look so awake. I really love it. Usually I use my finger, but today, to keep the color really where I want and not have it go like everywhere, I'm going to use this small little brush. So this look may not be the fastest. It's a pretty simple look, but it may not be the fastest because I do try to make each little step very detailed so that it can look as flawless as possible. Next up, I'm going to be lining my eye. Make sure you do a line that isn't too thick. I'm doing a tiny little wing, nothing too much, so we keep it more minimal. Doesn't have to be like a crazy wing unless you want that. As you saw, the liner just went on so easily. It is from McQueen, New York. It is a Korean brand and it is the waterproof pencil gel eyeliner. So good, really. If you have a hard time with eyeliners that tug, this is so good. I think it was $3, so super inexpensive and it's so good. Lasts all, whoa, doesn't smudge or anything, so really recommend this. Especially if you have like watery eyes. Once it sets, it doesn't move. And speaking of setting, I'm going to do my usual, which is smoking out my eyeliner a little bit. So I'm taking this darker shade, but trying to keep it mainly on top of the line and not smoke it out too much so we don't make it look super dramatic. This brown shade is also like one of my top favorite browns to smoke out or like set my eyeliner because it is slightly cool toned. I just feel like it is the perfect brown to do this because it automatically gives a smoky effect, because as you can see, it's a brown that has also kind of like not a white base, but it's very low in chroma. It's not too much of a brown. I just feel like it works so well to do this. Like, I just love it. like generally this palette, I'm so happy I own it. I love it so much. It's just so good. For the lashes, you can absolutely do falsies if you want. I'm just going to go with my natural lash and apply my favorite mascara. This mascara literally is perfect for this look because it just separates and coats every single lash individually, and it just looks so neat, so clean, not like super spidery or anything. It just looks so nice and defined. So I absolutely love this mascara. It is the Romand Hand All Fix Mascara. It lasts so well on me, and the effect it gives is just outstanding. I love it. This tube has been open for a little bit, but I was so surprised, and I am so surprised at how well it still works. From the beginning, it just worked so well. It was never too wet of a mascara formula, so it just always worked so well, especially with my very straight, stubborn lashes. I just feel like it works. I swear I could cry because it's so good. I live for this mascara. I really, really do. It's just... For brows, I'm going to do my usual, so it's just fill in a little bit, add a little bit of brow mascara, and we're done. Okay, and lastly, for the lips, I wanted to contour my lip just a little bit. Not too much, which is why I'm taking a pretty light lip liner. This one is the Essence lip liner in the shade Heavenly. It is a lot lighter than Nude Beige from NYX. And again, I'm using this because I just want to softly line my lips. Nothing too crazy, just to give a little bit of shape back. And this shade is just so light, you can barely see it, but it just helps to define a little bit. After that, I'm going to be using a lip combo that I really love. First, apply the ETUDE Fixing Tint. This one is in the shade Dusty Beige. It's kind of like a mauve-y shade. I'm going to apply just a little bit on my lips. And then to top it off, I'm going to be taking the Essence lip gloss, and this one is in the shade 105 Flower Blossom. It's a beautiful light milky baby pink to almost lilac kind of shade, and it just brightens everything up and it looks very pretty, and it has a cooling sensation, which I love. It's so pretty. This combo is everything. I love it so much. So I'm going to be doing my hair, put on my blazer, and I'll be right back. I did a little bun with these little flyaways. I think it's very cute, and I have my twig blazer on. I just feel like I could go to any event right now. I feel so put together. I feel super elegant, but not too much. I still feel like I look natural. My skin doesn't feel heavy. I just feel like I have that natural glow. As you saw, these products are not that expensive. I mean, I did use a MAC highlighter. You can totally skip that. You can create this type of look even with non-luxury makeup. It's more about the technique, how you do your makeup, that really determines if something is going to look luxe. It really depends on placement, color choice, and just everything together. It's a combination, I think, that really matters. So for me, this is my idea of luxe makeup. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye!